Hey, it's Jason Heath of Contrabass Conversations, and this is a quick in-between-isode of sorts. I am sitting down with BASS2018 Lucca, that is Bass Europe's biannual event. I'm sitting down with artistic directors Gabriele Ragghianti and Alberto Bocini, and we're talking about details of this event. I am so excited to go to this. It's happening at the end of July, beginning of August here the summer of 2018 in Lucca, Italy, just east of Florence. We talk about what Lucca's like, what to expect at this event, and much more in this brief but spirited conversation. And we have links to the event in the show notes. I will be there covering the event. Expect a lot of coverage from me in the future. So without further ado, let's get into this conversation with Alberto and Gabriele. Well, so I've got Alberto Bocini and Gabriele Ragghianti on the line here, and I'm so excited for BASS2018 in Lucca. Welcome, both of you.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And we're just a few short weeks away from BASS2018, and I am so excited, and I know so many people are, to visit Lucca. So could you maybe just, one or both of you, describe what Lucca is like as a town? Where is it in Italy, and what's it going to look like for those of us that are going to be joining you for the festival?
I think it's a small town, but it's a special place, and it's special for musicians. A lot of great musicians were born here. The musical history of the city is really interesting and surprising. And we connected our Congress and also the festival to a lot of the musicians were born here. As you know, we had a composition competition, an international competition for women composers that was dedicated to a Lucchese composer, a famous violin player, Francesco Gemignani, who was born here, and exactly in the church where he is buried, together with Boccherini. We will have one of the most important evenings of the week with the solo competition finalists that will play with an orchestra, the winner of this competition. And bad news about this is that Patricia Atkins-Kitty, who was really helpful with her important association of women composers, passed away at the beginning of the last month. So the concert and the competition will be dedicated to her. But this is one of the most important events, but it's not, of course, the only one. We will have something like 300 events. They are a lot in a week, and you cannot imagine how much it was hard to try to imagine and to fit them in a city like this, where all the people who will be here will move like inside a museum, because everything is very old. All the buildings we will use are full of history, and I hope it will be a good experience for everybody of us.
Also, you have all these other competitions. You have solo competition, orchestra, jazz, and youth competition. Is that right? Are those all happening throughout the week?
Yes, we have three competitions for the young players with different grades. We have an orchestra competition with the prize of the orchestra competition are very important, because we had really important partners as professional orchestras, where the winners of the competition will have an experience of a week work with them. Among these orchestras, we will have the Santa Cecilia Orchestra in Rome, and we are very proud of this Italian participation of one of the most important institutions, musical institutions in Italy. And then thanks to Alberto, we had another very important new in cooperation with the Swiss orchestra, the Swiss Romande. Then we have the Orchestra of Oslo. And what else, Alberto? Too many things in my mind. I cannot remember everything.
In Dresden.
Dresden, yes.
Yeah.
And
Alberto, did I see that the bass gang is getting back together? Is there going to be a bass gang for?
Yeah. It's we'll be there, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. And just come. It's not, you cannot imagine if you're not coming. So you'll see directly there.
Well, it looks like such a great lineup of performances. Every evening has performances. It looks like, and I was seeing names like Jimmy Pedersen, Donovan Stokes, Andres Martin, Simone Garcia, so many. And then it looks like the week rounds out. We've got the solo competition concert is, I think, on the 3rd, and the last evening is the jazz awards and finalists. Is that right?
Yes, is right.
Okay.
Right.
And they will be in some different places in the city. And this is it's new for the congresses to have some concerts open to the population. And it was a choice we did to give back to the city something from our ward, because we really got a lot from the city administration. And we thought to do something in divulgation, something in education, in an educational way to the people, giving to the people the opportunity to meet the basis, and to the basis to connect with the people, with an audience composed not only by bass players, that is, of course, very important and interesting, but at the same time, it could be more stimulating also to connect with other musical and not only musical words.
It's great. And in terms of education, it's so great that you're offering that up to the community too, so people can come and see these concerts. And then people that are going to the camp, that you also have an amateur camp and you have a youth bass program. Can you tell me about those programs?
Yeah, there's a youth program that I involved 4 different teachers, and with kids from any age until 18. And in the morning they have frontal lesson, groupal lessons, and in the afternoon everybody is going around, hanging around during in the Congress. And with some teachers that show them and talk with them about things that they are going to see and to share, and have the chance to have to listen to some master classes all around, and to play together in some groups and in 2 or 3 different events. There will be also this greeting to the sun in one morning, with no sleeping night. In the early morning, we are going to say hello from the Lucca walls that are unbelievable, fantastic walls. And we are going to play there with all the groups and with all together. You to come, of course, and to join us in this.
Well, what a sight! What a great way to take advantage of being in that beautiful city. So that's so cool. I can't wait to greet the sun with everybody. That's wonderful.
Yes. Of course, you have to be with us for that. And I just had something, because we decided to change something also about the youth camp, to give them the time to prepare their competition, to work together, but in some way we obliged them to share part of their days with the rest of the Congress activities to meet all the great players who will be performing in the afternoons. Normally, we will dedicate more the mornings to the didactical researchers, lectures in the morning. And since 3 in the afternoons, we started the recitals. In every hall, we will have 3 different recitals. And of course, they will be more at the same time. As you know, in these occasions, you have to run to listen to the people 10 minutes in one hall and the other one for 10 minutes, and you will run a lot here. But at the end, what was difficult to imagine here, all the events of the Congress in different venues, because normally if we think them like in a university camp, you have everything ready, and we needed to imagine them in a different place. Everything will be different, and but I think it could be interesting also to see it in a new way.
Well, I think it's wonderful that you're giving the young people the chance to see those performers, because they can get sort of set off in their own area and working on their own thing, and and there are these great artists here. So what a great opportunity to expose them to them. That's really wonderful.
That was our attempt to connect everybody, and we worked also to connect them outside the Congress times and outside the festival, because we will start in the morning and we will finish every night with a jazz concert in a beautiful place. Is the garden of a wonderful palace inside the walls. And after that, we will have the after hours in a beautiful restaurant with amazing food and very good wine. So I think a lot of people will not sleep for all the week.
I think that's okay. Very nice. Well, I really appreciate both of you taking some time to chat. I can only imagine how busy it must be trying to put something like this together and all the moving pieces. But what it looks like a great event, and I had so much time spending time with both of you in Prague in 2016, and I'm just so looking forward to this event. And folks, check out the website. I'll have it in the show notes, but 2018.bassfestival.eu will give you all the information, and I really hope to see you there.
Of course, we are waiting for you.
That's it for today's episode. Again, 2018.bassfestival.eu. And if you forget that because you're jogging or cooking or doing the dishes or whatever, no worries. It's in the show notes for this episode at contrabassconversations.com. I'm assuming this is probably not your first episode of the podcast, but if it is, welcome. If you're going to be in Lucca, I'd love to see you there. Drop me a line at feedback@contrabassconversations.com. And whether or not you're in Lucca, I'd love to hear from you. Say hi. Let me know what you think of the show, what you'd like to hear more of. That would be great. We've got a fantastic team here producing these podcasts. Typically, today's just me and Gabriele and Alberto, but in general, Contrabass Conversations is produced by Michael Cooper, Steve Hinchy, Trevor Jones, and Mitch Mooring. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have these folks helping out. I think I would quit, frankly. And if you're looking for a bass, Mitch makes a beautiful bass in the Dallas area. Learn more at mitchmooring.com. And thank you also to Krista Copper for going through and archiving and cataloging and organizing all the topics we talk about on these episodes. She's doing a great job, and expect some more highlight episodes and that kind of thing real soon. I'm your host, Jason Heath, coming to you today from San Francisco and a couple of weeks from Lucca, Italy. And regardless of where it is, we will see you again soon for more life on the low end of the spectrum.